Good evening, everyone. I'm Corey Butts, and this is not Hope Happenings. And there's no Crystal, there's no Latricia, which is great because they get on my nerves. And all you need is me anyway. So this is just a chance for us to talk about 2019, some of the highlights from the year. Also, we're looking forward to the next year. And tonight, I know that you all are here a little early because you're here ready for what we have in store for you tonight with our Watch Night service. Now, we're glad that you're here. Our visitors, we want to welcome you here as well. We want you to sit down, just be relaxed, and just know that you are in for a special treat here tonight. So, next, I want to make sure that you watch this so you can kind of get an idea of what goes on here at the House of Hope.
Hey everybody, my name is Bryant Collier.
And I'm Pastor Cross.
We have had an amazing year this year at the House of Hope Atlanta. There have been so many spectacular events in our ministries this year.
Yes, our women have had some major events, and so have our men. Yeah. Our family day was off the chain, and our children and our youth, they were amazing this year.
How about this? Why don't you take a look at what we've done this year at the House of Hope Atlanta?
I love my church because I found Pastor Smith on World Star 4 years ago, and I just love the authenticity of him. I love his education. I love his ability to bring forth the truth, and I'm a person that seeks the truth, and I love his ability to uplift the community and be a great person, to be comfortable and courageous with overcoming adversity. He is a prime example of that.
Family, my name is Aaliyah Dye, and we've had an amazing year here with our children and youth ministry, starting from our spring break college tour back in April, Vacation Bible School, and our Maxed Out experience. We also had an amazing time at our Harvest Night back in October. Check out these highlights.
God with all your heart, your soul, and your mind. So your love for God, if those two are equal, the two are alike, love God, love neighbor as yourself. If those two are equal, that means your love for God is expressed in how you love your neighbor. And your love for your neighbor is a reflection of how much you love yourself. So love for yourself is at the core of the gospel. Your love for God, as I'm in the book, your love for God is expressed in how you love your neighbor. Your love for your neighbor is a reflection of the love you have for yourself. So if you got bullies who are always picking on people at school and beating people up,
Hi, I'm Pastor Jennifer Carner, and those were some amazing highlights. We have a special experience for our children because children are a gift from God. If there are any students that you know of or any students with you who are grades 6 through 12, there'll be a special worship experience just for them at 10 p.m. Meet us there.
Good evening. My name is Coach Sean Tarrant. I'm the head football coach of Champion Prep Academy. Champion Prep Academy actually used to be called Georgia Prep Academy until this past May, where we actually changed the name when I took over as head football coach. Well, as we partner with the House of Hope family, I would like to give you a rundown of exactly how successful our young men were this past year. Even through it all, our young men were successful. For example, out of 30 young men, 26 young men actually received college scholarships. And this could not have happened without the help of the House of Hope and Pastor Smith. You guys really did so much for us. And the help that you all actually gave us was the outcome of these young men receiving the scholarships. It could have not happened without you, because these young men probably would have left because we had so many problems with feeding the young men and housing the young men. But with the help of you guys, you really helped us to accommodate these young men. And the Lord really blessed us to have you guys be part of this program. Once again, thank you, and may God bless you.
Have you all been to our online bookstore? I bet you haven't. So look, get your phones, get your tablets or whatever you have. I will need you to go to www.hohbookstore.com right now and look at all the wonderful merchandise we have. We have cups, we have mugs, we have hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts with our own merchandise. Also, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but the Design by God baby line, oh my God, it's awesome. You're gonna want your babies in it. You think I can get one for my dog? I don't know if it'll fit. They don't make them for dogs. Don't worry about that. But make sure that you go to www.hohbookstore.com, check out the merchandise, order some stuff today. I promise you, you're gonna love it.
Hi, I'm Pastor Jennifer Carner.
And I'm Dr. Sharon Mitchell.
And this has been an iconic year in the life of our church. Listen, we've been busy doing God's work, and we've seen so much fruit, especially in the area of our Tabitha's House initiative.
And you know, Tabitha's House is a great opportunity for everyone to participate. It is truly the heartbeat of our pastor, helping those who are involved in sex trafficking. And our executive director, Tabitha's House, has done a phenomenal job this year. She's been on Sister Circle. She's been on a number of panels, and she's putting out information that we hope will help all of those who are facing those kinds of issues.
But listen, you don't have to take our word for it. Check out these highlights.
Welcome back to Sister Circle Live. We want to warn you that what we're about to discuss may not be suitable for young children. It's becoming an epidemic in America. In July, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported that Georgia was one of the top states for sex trafficking. Our next guest is working to change that. She's dedicated years to helping young women and men start a new life after falling victim to this exploitation.
Now she serves as the executive director of the Tabitha's House, an organization that provides service and resources to these survivors. Please welcome Dr. Margie Gill and survivor Alicia Bowens to the couch.
Thank you so much for being here, ladies.
Very nice having you all here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Dr. Margie, let's start with you. We hear about sex trafficking, we read about it, we see it in movies. I mean, it's all across the headlines. Now, why has this become such an epidemic?
It has become an epidemic because we live in a time where people are keeping so many different types of secrets. Mm-hmm. And we hear children say all the time, you know, my mom said what goes on in our house stays in our house. And so people don't seek the help that they need.
Yes.
And then you have like the people in power who are doing the victimizing. Mm-hmm. So it's a multi-layered, multi-dimensional problem that we see throughout communities.
Yes.
And I say it all the time that human trafficking does not discriminate. Mm-hmm. I've seen it in marginalized populations, in mega rich communities, across races. It doesn't discriminate.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit about the facts, because one thing that we do know from all the research is that it's a multi-million or billion dollar industry.
Yes.
Yes. Talk about some of the facts.
Some of the facts right here in the metro Atlanta area, on any given night, 100 to 300 girls are sex trafficked. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying that one person has to turn one trick, because that's what it's called. They call it tricking. They may serve 20 to 30 people in one night, but that one girl is out doing this. We can't really account for boys because there's not enough research. We don't have the resources available, and we're talking about children right now. This doesn't include the women, the men, the people who identify as LGBTQ. So it's a problem.
Yes. Wow. Yes. Well, I want to introduce Alicia to the show. You are actually a survivor.
I am.
Yes. So talk to us a little bit about how the nightmare began for you.
Okay, I'm going to remove my peppermint. Mm-hmm. Well, it began for me at the age of 13. And I was targeted by not a man but girls that worked in it. They were sisters, so they was into the business of sex trafficking, and they approached me, took me to the house. Of course, it was drugs introduced, marijuana, alcohol, and prior to me being there, a guy comes in, he had another girl, and then he started to question me and just try to pick my mind and see where I were, and I was 13, like I said. And once he realized I was so young, he sold me to a guy that would take me at the age of 13. And
this just may be the ignorance of me, but where were your parents? How were you able to have so much liberty at the age of 13 years old, where someone who did not even have a bloodline tied to you could take you and sell you into sex trafficking?
Well, my home wasn't stable, and my biological mama was absent. So I grew up with my father and my stepmother. So it was space. So with the neglect there, it allowed me to be vulnerable. So I'm walking, trying to find myself, and
wanting to feel a need of being a part of something, to feel loved, to feel whole.
Exactly. And so as I patrolled, and I was actually right across the street from where I lived. It was like the apartments that I went in, but I lived in a community. So it was so close to home, and it was very difficult, but
you've come out on the other side. And let's talk about how your life has changed since you have survived sex trafficking.
Well, it has changed a lot, shifted. And now, you know, I'm independent. I work, you know, I do hair. So, and I'm establishing my license as well. So it's a struggle, because every day is a battle, especially when you're dealing with financial, and you have to stay focused. So now that I'm out of it, you know, I just have to make sure that each day I take life as it comes, and no matter what, I'm a fighter. So it's in me, and I always seem better for myself. But this was like 19 years.
Oh my gosh.
19 years being in this world of sex trafficking.
Wow. We're going to take a break and come back with more of their stories. So please continue to stay with us as we talk to Dr. Margie and Elisha. Welcome back to Sister Circle Live, and we are continuing our conversation with the Executive Director of Tabitha's House, Dr. Margie, and also Elisha Bowens, who is a survivor of sex trafficking. And again, for those of you watching, you're just joining us, this is content that is not suitable for young children.
So, Elisha, I want to talk to you about at what point did you say, you know, enough is enough? You were in it for 19 years, and something happened in your life where you said, I got to get out of this.
Well, I believe that I was resurrected, because I was dead. And I was so far like gone and ghosted spirited, because I didn't think that no one cared. So what woke me up, I was actually in New Orleans, and I was on Facebook, and I heard this man, and his name was Minister Louis Farrakhan. And he was stating that, you know, women be patient. That was his words. Be patient. We're getting ourselves together, meaning the men, and we're coming back to you. And I felt a sense of protection, and I was like, actually in the mix of about to commit, you know, an act. And I was like,
a sexual act.
Yes. Well, it was more like robbery. So when I heard that, it was just like instantly, and I looked, I was like, oh, I can't do this. And the funny thing was that he was begging me to do it, like, yes, you can, please do it. And I'm like, you got to get out of my car. You have to get out of my car. And at that time, I thought about my children. And I was like, what am I doing? And I literally had to like pull him out of my car and drop him off at his room, of course, but I pulled him out, like, drop you off at the Hilton. And he's like, thank you. I'll email you some money. Of course he didn't, but I flew home driving fast.
So you were about to rob this guy?
Yes.
Wow. And that changed your life. Dr. Margie, let's bring you back into the conversation. How? Because of the money that's involved in this, because it's so many layers to it. How do we combat this? What do we have to do? Obviously, it seems to be one person at a time.
It really is. It's one person at a time, but our collective voice and being more aware, we can protect our children. Because what we see at Tabitha's House, we see children being trafficked by parents. We see spouses trafficking the other spouse or the partner. We see a lot of things happening. Every 6 seconds, somebody is being exploited. And this does not just mean, you know, across the world. We're talking about right here. Right now, probably less than a mile away, somebody is being exploited, turning sexual favors. And we can't continue to turn a blind eye. And so what we do, we attend to the people as they come in. We don't just address one thing that presents. We look at the identities of the person. So if they have, like Alicia just described her religious underpinning. She also described, she thought about her children. So we look at all these layers. She's a parent. She's a woman of faith. She has all of these things. So we look at all of those things and try to cater to wherever her need is at that time.
My goodness. Well, thank you. We appreciate the work that you are doing. And Alicia, we are proud of you. And we will continue to lift you up. And thank you so much for being an example, because somebody saw you today and they will walk out of their life because they see your strength.
Yes.
So thank you so much for telling your story.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. For more information on Tabitha's House, please make sure you visit their website, tabithasHouseINT.org. Stay with us.
I believe that raising money for the Tabitha House is one of the greatest things that our church can get on the go. It's an immediate project, initiative that we need to undertake. It helps save young girls from sex trafficking, and we are proud to be a part of it, and proud to be able to raise money to enhance this our initiative.
Hi, I'm Pastor Jennifer Carter.
Hi, I'm Minister Pam Hicks.
And we're here to talk about outreach. Yes, outreach is the heartbeat of any ministry or any church. And this has been an exciting year for us. We had an opportunity to reach overseas and share God's love with persons in Ghana in our Shoes for Ghana initiative, where we collected over 3,000 shoes. But it doesn't stop there. We also had our food pantry open, and we served and helped so many families in crisis who were in need of food. Tell us a little bit more.
Absolutely. We did our Do Something Saturday. We had our angel tree where we blessed many families that wouldn't have had anything because of a parent being incarcerated. And we are almost finished with our church in Rwanda.
But listen, you don't have to take our word for it again. Check out these highlights.
This is my body. Take and don't eat.
Oh my God, Falcon.
Hey y'all, this is Mignon, and I just want to share a few amazing moments that we had in this church in 2019. We are a praising church, and I can recall one Sunday, the young man on the drums hopped up off of the drums and he went for broke. He shouted so hard, I ran with him and I shouted with him, and I found myself shouting with every musician. And the thing I love about this church is we ain't just praisers, but we are worshipers, and we believe in the power of healing. And I can recall a young woman who was healed, and the power of God moved in this church like never before. And see, Sunday mornings is just one thing, but if you ain't came to Bible study, you missing out. Because I recall one Bible study where there was a young man, we were singing a worship song, and he took off running. The Holy Spirit was in this place, so he couldn't contain himself. And at the end of the service, everybody went home. We stayed there, and we had a Tarian service after service. We was on the floor. People was being purged. I mean, people were renewed. New beginnings happened for people. I mean, change happened for people. This is the place to be. And I'm tired of talking. Y'all just look at the clips and you'll see what happened.
Come on. Clap your hands all over the house. Hallelujah. If you know this joy that you have, the world can't take it away. Come on. Right here, say it. Say, he brought joy.
I just heard the Lord say that while you've been in worship, the last 12 minutes, somebody's tumor just dried up. Somebody's tumor. It won't be on the x-ray. It won't be on the sonogram. You won't need a needle, or you won't need a scalpel, you won't need a scope, you won't need radiation. Your worship did. I wish you take a moment and bless God right there. Your worship did it.
Because my worship is for real. I've been through too much now to worship Him. Hey, I've been through too much now to worship Him. You've been through too much now to worship Him. Yeah, I've been through too much now to worship Him. I've been through too much now to worship Him. Yeah. The healer is here. The healer is here. So worship Him. Oh, I've been through too much to worship Him. Lift my hands in your presence. I've been through too much. Been through too much. You've been over. You've been over and over and over. You've been over and over and at it again. You've been through too much. He's done enough for you to give Him glory. He's done enough for you to give Him praise. You kept my mind. You kept me in perfect peace. Sing it, I've been through too much. The healer is here. 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 Please sing. The healer is here. Oh, Jehovah Rapha is here. The healer is here. say the healer. They gonna say what happened. I met the healer. Hey, the healer is here. The healer is here. You wanna jump in the river right here. The healer is here. You ain't gotta wait for nobody to call you out. The healer is here. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. If you don't need healing, somebody you know is standing in the need of healing. Yeah, I stand in the gap for my family. I stand in the gap for my children because the healer. Today is your day. Today is your day. You want to receive it where you are. The healer is here. We thank you because you are a healer. We thank you because you are a healer. We thank you because you are a healer. Yes, you are. We don't thank you for what you can do, but you are a healer. The healer is here.
What's up, fam? I'm Bryant Collier. This year, we had an amazing sermon series with our theme, God, period. During this time, our pastor took a year teaching and preaching with sermons like When God's Got Your Back, the sermon series Energize, God's Playbook, and we just wrapped up The Matrix, the Christmas version. How could you not live better after hearing such a year full of amazing preaching? But don't take my word for it. Check out some of these amazing sermon highlights from this year.
Ephesians chapter 2. It's amazing how God sends confirmation. He did it at 7:30 this morning. He just did it again. I didn't know what they were singing. They didn't know what I was preaching. And God is just so awesome that it's scary sometimes. Ephesians 2:4. When you have Ephesians 2:4, say amen. I want to read this, and it reads as follows. Ephesians 2:4. But God. You may be seated. I want you to know that when you feel like Marcy, dirty, that when you've been in some dirty situations, that often we have a tendency to run away from dirt. Often we have a tendency to be ashamed of our dirt. Often we want to cover and not let people see our dirt. But what I love about God is this: God is never intimidated by dirt. As a matter of fact, God's first action with humanity involved the dirt, in that God did not mind putting his hands in dirt to form something from that which had a dirty origin. And maybe you don't get that scientifically, but that shouts me, because it lets me know that God does not mind putting his hands on me. And it just shouts you because God does not mind putting God's hands on you. Because if the truth be told, many of you haven't been in church all of your life, reading the word of God, speaking in tongues, and in church on time on a Sunday morning at 10 a.m. The truth be told, there was a time for some of y'all, you just be leaving the club still drunk and tore up from the floor up. But the situation is that God does not allow the dirt that you face or the dirt that people have placed on you to keep you away from God. But God has something that moves on the optic nerves of his omniscient eyes and enables him to look beyond your dirt and see your need. And I give God praise, because just like Marcy has been through some dirty situations, some of you may be going through some dirty situations on your job, and you're wondering, why are my coworkers so dirty? Why is my boss so dirty? Why is the supervisor, the manager, the CEO so dirty? And instead of you cursing the dirt, tomorrow if you see dirt on the job, go into the break area pray in the bathroom and say, God, there's some dirt going on, but I invite you to come into my dirt. Because guess what? God does his first works with the dirt. And don't be shocked if you invite God into a dirty situation with a dirty supervisor and a dirty boss and a dirty CEO. Don't be shocked if 6 months later the one who's done you the dirtiest is going to be the one who serves underneath you, because God has a way of shifting the dirt and taking the dirt to bring something glorious out of a dirty situation. As a matter of fact, I got to give God praise right now, because you don't see my dirt. You don't know the time that I've disappointed God's heart, but in spite of that, he reached out, put his hands on me, and put me in the pulpit. And I can give God praise, not because God blessed me to be clean, but I can give God the glory because he wasn't ashamed and embarrassed of me when I was dirty. And if there's anybody else in this house, can take a moment to clap your hands and give God praise, because you know you have not always dotted your I's or crossed your T's, but in spite of the dirt you've been through, God loves you and has a plan for your life.
He has faith that they can lower him without dropping him, but then his friends have faith that when they lower him, Jesus is going to heal him. Listen, I need some people like that in my life, people who have faith for my miracle. We real good at shouting and getting real loud when it's our time and having faith for what we want, but I need some people who will believe God for what God wants to do in my life. I need some people who will have faith in my miracle. Understand, they held on tightly to their faith, so much so that they were willing to do whatever it took to get their friend to Jesus. Listen, lean in for this one. The devil and life will attempt to take many things from you, but don't you ever let go of your faith. Understand, your faith puts you in the right position and the right posture to experience miracles, signs and wonders and supernatural blessings. Understand, life will try to take your joy, life will try to take your strength, life will try to take your power. But listen, don't you ever let go of your faith. They can talk about you, they can beat you up, but listen, don't you let go of your faith in God. Tell somebody, get your faith up, get your faith up. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. Before I see how many followers you have on social media, I want to check your faith level. I want to check your faith level, because faith will take you further than followers, because people will follow you and like your picture and not like you. And so I'd rather have my faith than to have fame and popularity and followers, because followers will elevate you, but your faith will keep you sane in your elevation. Are y'all gonna help me talk? I'd rather have faith than followers, because people will follow you today and be phony with you tomorrow. I'd rather have faith than followers.
Saved folk don't believe in luck. I'm not here because I'm lucky. I'm not here because of coincidence. They didn't make it because of happenstance, but they made it because God had their back. I got to close this message, but do me a favor, shake somebody's hand one time and say, neighbor, not only did God have KP's back, not only did God have Juju's back, not only did God have B-Walt's back, not only did God have Austin's back, not only did God have Kamara's back, but I got a word for you. He's got your back. So the Lord is my shepherd. That means the Lord is in front of me. I got goodness and mercy behind me. I got a fence all around me and over my head all day, all night. I got angels watching over me. Got a shepherd in front. Got a fence around. Goodness and mercy behind. angels above. Well, what about your feet doing? On Christ, the solid rock, outstand all of the ground. Listen, I've been crying all week, but I said I'm not gonna cry today. I'm gonna give you glory for having my boys back. Can somebody praise God with me? And this week he gonna have your back. And no weapon, I said no weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper. Oh.
Well, everybody, that's my time. Don't make that face. I know. I get it. You sad. I'm leaving. But wait, you come here every Sunday, I promise you will see me. However, tonight is Watch Night 2019. So y'all need to go ahead and put on a seatbelt or something, buckle up, because this is going to be a great ride. And think about it. You made it through 2019. That's something to be grateful for. We want to celebrate God for making it through 2019 and for what he's going to do, not just 2020. I'm talking about 2021, 2022, 2023, for the future as well. So go ahead, get ready. Don't bring no popcorn in here, no chicken or nothing like that, because it ain't that type of party, because we don't need you making a mess in the church. However, I do want you to be relaxed and just be ready for what God has in store. And I want to wish everybody a very happy new year.